Welcome to techdaily.ai, and a very warm welcome to you, the listener, for tuning into this deep dive. Now, this deep dive is sponsored by Stonefly. They're your trusted solution provider and advisor in enterprise storage, backup disaster recovery, hyper-converged VMware, Hyper-V, Proxmox clusters, AI servers, SA365 that's a turnkey security appliance, plus public and private cloud. Check out stonefly.com for more info. Okay, let's get into it. We're talking about an AI today that goes way beyond just chatting. It's moving into the realm of actually doing things autonomously.
Right.
We're past sophisticated chatbots now. This is an AI that really performs tasks for you on its own virtual computer. It feels like a huge step, honestly, something OpenAI just dropped, the ChatGPT agent.
It really is fascinating how they've layered the previous experiments, stuff they've worked on before, now coming together to create something that acts like a genuine virtual assistant.
So not just a smarter chatbot.
No, definitely not. It's properly stepping into web interaction, deep API integration. It can edit spreadsheets, generate editable slideshows, and it does all this from its own independent virtual machine.
Okay.
So our mission today, really, is to explore what this ChatGPT agent actually is, how well it performs, the capabilities it unlocks are pretty incredible, but also the safety measures, which are critical, right?
Right.
And what it all means for how we'll interact with the internet with digital tasks going forward.
Yeah, this announcement is definitely making waves.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it builds on past stuff like Operator
Yeah,
and deep research.
exactly. Operator was the one that could browse the web, click things, type, scroll, act like a person using a browser.
Right.
And deep research was more like a silent analyst, sifting through loads of info, pulling out insights, making summaries. This new agent, it kind of takes the best bits of both.
And it has new tools to power it.
Oh yeah, serious new tooling. It gets access to a terminal.
Okay, well,
API connectors for your own apps, think Gmail, GitHub, and it has both text-based and visual browsers it can use.
so it sees the web like we do, but can also just crunch the text.
Pretty much. And the bigger picture here, I think, is giving AI agency, but inside a secure, dedicated space. It spins up a whole computer environment on its own, separate from your device.
Which gives it persistence. It doesn't forget things mid-task.
Exactly. Persistent context through the whole session. So it can handle multi-step tasks without, losing its place.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. This isn't some future demo, right? It's rolling out now.
It is. Launching right now for Pro Plus and Team users.
Yeah.
If that's you, you should see agent mode pop up in the ChatGPT tools drop down.
Yeah, and you just prompt it.
You just prompt it like usual. But what happens next is, transformative, like you could say. Find 3 competitors to my product, analyze their pricing, and make me a slide deck comparing them.
And it just does that.
It goes off, browses the web, uses its tools, pulls the data, and generates actual editable slides. We're talking native PowerPoint files, vector shapes, text graphs, not just, screenshots pasted in.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
What about, like, personal stuff?
Sure. Think about planning dinner. You could say, plan and buy ingredients to make Japanese breakfast for 4 people.
Oh.
It'll find recipes, make a shopping list, go to the grocery site, add the items to your cart.
How does it buy them?
Ah, good question. It gets everything ready, then stops and asks you to log in and confirm the purchase. Always needs your final okay for actions like that.
Okay, that's crucial. So it's not just off doing its own thing entirely.
No, and that interactive, collaborative piece is key. You can pause it anytime. You can take over a step if you want to do it differently. Adjust things. Cancel it completely.
Can you see what it's doing? Like, if it gets stuck?
Yeah, you can ask for a progress report in real time, but it does bring up that big question, right? With this much autonomy, how much control do you, the user, actually keep? Is it a co-pilot?
Or does it eventually
editing?
take the wheel? Yeah, that's the billion-dollar question.
It seems like OpenAI has put a lot of thought into keeping the user in charge. It feels very much like a powerful co-pilot right now, not some black box you just hope works out.
But it's a balance they'll need to keep refining, I guess.
Definitely. It's not just about saving time, though that's part of it. It's also about offloading the mental load, the cognitive overhead of planning and executing complex multi-step things. That feels like a really profound shift in how we work online.
Okay, so we've talked about what it can do, but the big test, the reality check, is always performance, isn't it? How well does it actually do these things? Let's get into the benchmarks.
Right. The numbers.
Because this is where you see the raw power. They tested it on something called Humanity's Last Exam. Sounds intense.
It is brutal benchmark. Thousands of expert-level questions, over 100 fields.
And the agent scored.
41.6% on the first try, which sounds maybe not amazing, but it's nearly double what their previous models, like O3 or O4 Mini, could manage.
Okay, that context helps. Double is significant.
And if they let it run 8 parallel attempts and pick the best one, it hit 44.4%. So yeah, a big leap.
What about something like math? Really hard math.
Frontier math. This is seen as maybe the hardest math benchmark right now. It's full of new problems, stuff that stumps human experts for hours, sometimes days.
Right.
With tool use, like having that terminal to run code, the agent got 27.4%.
Wow. Compared to
O4 Mini, which only managed 6.3%. So more than 4 times better on problems needing real problem solving, not just spitting back answers.
Okay, academic tests are one thing, but what about, real-world business stuff? Stuff professionals actually do.
That's where it gets super practical. They did internal tests, financial projections, amortization schedules, competitive research, tasks defined by industry experts.
And they compared it to humans doing the same tasks.
Top humans, yeah. And the agent matched or actually beat the human output in about half the tasks they tested.
Half. On complex things.
Like building leverage buyout models for a Fortune 500 company with proper formatting, citations, multiple tabs in the spreadsheet, the kind of stuff investment banking analysts do. It signals really profound shift, I think.
Okay. Spreadsheets. Everyone struggles with spreadsheets sometimes. How to do their spreadsheet bench.
Right. 912 questions on real-world editing and analysis. In the LibreOffice environment on a Mac, it got 35.27%. But if it could edit the .xls files directly, that jumped to 45.54%.
How does that compare?
Well, Copilot in Excel is around 20%. Humans are still better, obviously, around 71%. But the agent is like over halfway there autonomously.
That's still pretty impressive.
And even on trickier things like DS Bench, for data science workflows, it beat human baselines. So yeah, it's not just a fancy interface. The actual substance it produces, slides, spreadsheets, code, can genuinely match or sometimes exceed what skilled people do manually.
And web browsing. You mentioned BrowseComp.
Yeah, that test's finding really specific, hard-to-find info online. The agent blew past deep research, the previous best, by over 17 percentage points, set a new record at 68.9%.
In Web Arena.
That simulates completing actual tasks on the web. It outperformed the operator-powered version of their older O3 model.
So stepping back, how does it actually work under the hood? You mentioned different environments.
Yeah, it's not limited to just one tool. You can switch between a visual browser acting like a person clicking around and a text-based browser, which is faster for just grabbing and summarizing text.
And the terminal access.
Right, it can run commands, execute scripts, download and manipulate files, all orchestrated on its own virtual machine, remember, not your local device.
So it keeps track across different steps.
Exactly, persistent context. It can open a page, grab a file, run a script on it, then show you the result in the browser again, all as part of one task flow.
And you mentioned connections to apps, these connectors. What are they exactly?
Think of them as secure digital handshakes, basically. Pre-approved ways for the agent to talk directly to your other apps.
Like Gmail, Google Calendar, GitHub.
Exactly, those kinds of things. Once you authenticate, and you still have to do the login part yourself for security.
Right.
But once it's connected, the agent can do things like summarize your inbox, find open slots in your calendar, check recent code commits in a repo. It can move pretty freely between these connected services to complete a task.
Which raises that security question again, doesn't it? How integrated can this get while still being safe?
It's the central question.
Especially because OpenAI themselves are classifying this as having, high biological and chemical capability risk.
Yeah.
That sounds serious.
It is serious. It's part of their preparedness framework. They're not saying it has been used for harm, but they're acknowledging the potential that it could theoretically be misused, maybe to speed up dangerous research if someone found an exploit.
So, given that potential risk, are the safeguards strong enough? Or is this pushing the boundaries of AI safety?
I think it's a bit of both. It highlights how robust the measures need to be, and also that this is a new frontier. Because of that risk classification, they've built what they call their most comprehensive safety stack ever.
Okay, like what?
Well, real-time monitoring, for starters. Every prompt gets scanned. If it's biology-related, the response goes through a second check, specifically looking for potential harm. They've also disabled memory for the agent. Unlike regular ChatGPT, it doesn't remember past chats.
Where's that?
to prevent data leaks through clever prompt injections. Memory could potentially be abused.
Prompt injection, that's where someone hides malicious instructions, right?
Exactly. And with an agent that can act, not just talk, it's a much bigger threat. A hidden command on a web page could potentially trick the agent into doing something bad, accessing data from your connected apps, maybe even making a purchase you didn't authorize. It's a fundamental challenge for these agentic systems.
So how do they defend against that?
They've specifically trained the model to recognize and resist those kinds of hidden instructions. Plus, the explicit permission step is key. Before it does anything with real consequences, buying stuff, sending emails, it has to ask you first.
Okay.
There's also a watch mode. For certain sensitive tasks, like managing your calendar or emails, you have to supervise it in real time. You see everything it's doing live, and you can jump in or stop it instantly.
And privacy controls, login details.
Full suite, one-click deletion of browsing data, immediate logouts, cookie management. And crucially, when you take over the browser to type in a password, the model doesn't see or store any of that. Your login credentials remain private.
That sounds pretty thorough, but it's still an evolving area, you'd say.
Absolutely. It's a comprehensive approach, vital for building trust, but the field of agent safety is definitely still developing.
And even with all that, there are still limitations, right? You mentioned slide decks are still beta.
Yeah, slide creation is beta. Formatting can be a bit wonky sometimes, and you can't yet upload your own slides for it to edit. They're working on improving it, training the next version for better polish and more capabilities there.
What about the rollout? Who gets it when?
So pro users should have full access now. That's 400 messages a month. Plus, and team users are getting it over the next few days. But with a smaller cap, only 40 messages a month unless you buy extra credit.
And enterprise. Education.
They're next, but probably still a few weeks away. And there's a delay for folks in the EEA and Switzerland. Access isn't available there just yet.
So a gradual rollout.
Yeah.
Makes sense for monitoring and safety?
Exactly. Allows for ongoing refinement, making sure the safety protocols hold up across different groups.
Okay, so this agent, it tackles complex business stuff. It handles personal tasks like dinner planning. What does this really mean for you, the listener? Forget specific job titles for a second. What are the broader implications here?
Well, for anyone building websites, the message is clear. Structure matters more than ever. Proper headings, clearly labeled forms and input fields, consistent product listings, clean tables, clear labels for prices, dates, all that stuff.
Because you're not just designing for humans anymore.
Exactly. You're optimizing for AI agents, too. That's a fundamental shift in web design philosophy. But it also changes how we all consume information and get things done. We're moving towards a world where agents complete tasks, not just help us with them.
So it changes the nature of digital work itself.
I think so. The key insight isn't just that things get done faster. It's that the human role shifts. We move from doing the steps to directing the agent.
Yeah.
From executioner to orchestrator and editor. That requires a different set of skills, right?
Absolutely. So to sum up, ChatGPT agent seems like a truly profound development. Planning trips, managing meetings, competitor analysis, complex spreadsheet editing. It aims to handle it all, start to finish. Yeah, you state the goal, and it works towards it.
Yeah. And the really provocative thought for you, the listener, isn't if these agents will change how you operate online, but really, how quickly will you start integrating them? What tasks in your own work, your own life, could actually benefit right now from this kind of automation and precision?
Something to definitely think about. Before we wrap up, just a reminder about Stonefly's cutting-edge solutions for enterprise storage and recovery. And they have a really remarkable offering right now, a 100 TB immutable and air-gapped SSO NAS for just $8,995. That's a potential game changer if you need secure, high-capacity storage. Definitely worth checking out. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you in the next one.